There we go. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Hope you've all had amazing days. Welcome back or welcome to the FX Sunday YouTube channel. Exciting times. This is going to be the second upload to the YouTube channel. It's currently 1:37 on the 7th of April, Thursday morning. It's a little bit later than expected to be recording, but it's been a super busy week, a super busy day. Things have been growing rapidly. The community has been amazing, and all of the services that we're expanding on, growing, developing to help people become more profitable is mind-blowing. The amount of new people that I've met that are contributing towards the business, towards the growth, towards the profitability of everyone, the knowledge has been amazing. So I'm only looking forward to it scaling up further, meeting more people, and ultimately taking it to the next level. So welcome to the YouTube video, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about prop trading. Within my community, the prop trading has been crucial to part of the growth and success of some of the traders. The prop trading, if you don't know what it is an Australian-based prop firm that essentially funds capital to traders if they pass their challenge and verification stages. They then become a live funded trader. They have to stick within the metrics, and then essentially they have a lot more capital to trade on than they would have done originally. So today I kind of wanted just to break it down a little bit. I've got a little document up here on the left hand side of everything that I kind of want to run through, talk about. This video is kind of highly requested from my community members anyways, just to basically outline my opinion and shed my thoughts on them. I want it to be a natural, pretty much uncut video if I can, depending on my computer skills and communication skills at this time in the morning. But essentially, that's what I want to do. Is break down the pros, the cons, my experience with them. I'm now funded with 200K in capital with them on two separate accounts. I've gone through the process. I've got the t-shirt as such. I've experienced their bad things. I've experienced their very beneficial things. And yeah, let's dive in. So essentially, this is an Australian-based prop firm. Okay, it's been around for a couple of years. Prop firms are popping up all over the space. It's a very, very new concept, a new idea as a whole. There have been things out in the past that have been for institutional traders, but for the retail market space, for you and I that have just started trading, I only started trading, properly every single day 2 years ago. I've been looking at the markets, I'm trading 2 and 2 and all that sort of stuff for like 4 years, but properly trading every day, doing chart ups, actually getting better and actually becoming profitable for the last 2 years. So prop firms have kind of been in the retail market space for a handful of years at the moment. And, they're popping up all over the space, as I've said. They originally started off very, very badly. They didn't have, I think they can fairly say as well, the best launch. They had people accusing them of being a scam. They had people, saying there's not enough payout proof, that there's bad customer support, there's bad service. But all of that has turned around ever since. And, I kind of got onto their challenges and their funding program when all of that had turned around. So I wasn't really there to experience when the bad stuff was happening or the bad stuff was happening. But, from what I've heard from, existing customers and stuff like that, things have tremendously changed, in the last handful of months. So I want to break down the video into a few different sections. I'm going to timestamp everything down below so you can kind of check it out for yourself. If if you want to jump forward to the cons, you want to jump forward to the pros, you want to jump forward to the, the trader dashboard or any of that sort of stuff, it'll all be down below, so that you can do that, pretty easily. So I want to break it down into going through the website, okay, then the models, the challenges themselves, and comparing them to a few other prop firms very, very briefly, because this is, of course, a video specifically about the prop trading. And then I want to jump onto the back end of the dashboard, because other reviews that I've seen have talked about the rules, they've talked about the challenges, but they haven't actually talked about the dashboard and why I think it's great and why I think, it can be something that differentiates them from, some of the other prop firms out there. I think their dashboard is great. So I also want to do that. And then I want to go into the Trustpilot. And then I want to run through quite rigorously their good rules, and what I think is maintaining them being one of the market leading dominating prop firms in the space. And then also their bad rules. They have got a few shady rules in there that I don't like. And I'm quite open about that as well. So I want to run through those as well. So without further ado, let me share my screen. And I think we can run on to first what have I got on my list. First, I want to go onto the Trustpilot, okay, and show that they are a reputable company and that they have got numerous great reviews. So let's do that now, okay. So hopefully that should be loading in the next couple of seconds. There we go. Okay, so here we are on the prop trading, Trustpilot. Trustpilot, great place for people to put reviews up. For companies themselves, they can't really contest or remove these reviews very quickly or easily. So if someone does have a negative experience, a bad experience, they can put it up here with quite good support that it's going to take a lot of, examining and a lot of proof for them to remove them essentially. And they've got very, very good reviews on the whole. Okay, so 294 out of 468 reviews are positive. The top, top review that you can go for on Trustpilot. Pretty decent. And from going through and back testing essentially all of these bad reviews, okay, so the 106, a lot of them are from when they started out. So as I mentioned at the start, they didn't have a great start, they didn't have a positive start, they got a bunch of negative reviews, and they seem to have sorted that out, corrected that, and they're now a great verified company with a lot of reviews and some some green stars. Okay, clearly here we have some competition as well of other prop firms that are doing well. And if people want me to jump on these other prop firms, so My Forex Funds, FTMO, the Funded Trader, Mint Funding, the list goes on, then I'm happy to do reviews on those as well. And if you've got a spare 20 seconds, write down a little comment to let me know, and I'd appreciate it. So that's the first thing. That is the Trustpilot, great place to start. Okay, next I want to go on to their website. So here we are. Hopefully that should have loaded. Just going to take a quick sip of water. Okay. So running through the website, nice, clean, clear website. I'm quite complimentary about this website. They've got the nice trading view sort of plug-in up here at the top, where we can see all of the instruments. We've got all of their links, their social media links, their Instagram. I'll run through that very, very quickly as well, which shows a lot of payout proof, which shows a lot of certificates of funded traders, which has, the owner of the prop trading, discussing a lot of videos. They've got loads of posts on there. They've got loads of followers. I'll quickly jump on that now. They should hopefully still be seen. They've got loads of testimonials, loads of payouts, loads of certificates. And if I quickly scroll through, loads of nice videos as well, talking about, how to join. So heading back onto the website. Now let me make sure I just stop sharing this and start sharing this again, because I've had some bad experiences with the recording videos and then not being loaded properly. So here we go. Okay, so nice front page, nice website, traded funded account, Forex indices, metals, and cryptos. Okay, as I said, social media stuff. Their Telegram is great as well. I love Telegram. It's where I do all of my community sort of chats and stuff like that. But essentially their Telegram has live customer support. They have like 3 or 4 different guys and girls that are on there, responding to messages the whole time. Can be a little bit cluttered. It's not a place that you need to be the whole time, because otherwise you'll have 1,000 messages by the time you wake up in the morning. But essentially, if you've got any questions and you don't want to go through customer support, you want to do it, let's say on Telegram instead, you can do that there. You've got a nice Facebook group chat as well. So all things you can join to see the proof and other community members. Okay, so the prop trading brings you one step closer to your trading success. 80% profit share, great, love it. Okay, market leading, lovely stuff. Some of the other prop firms out there doing 50%, 70%, 75%, 80% is now a really, really great number. Some prop firms are doing 90%, but that is typically after you've had a few successful months, or you're doing a slightly different challenge and verification stage sort of model. They've got a 200k account, 1 to 200 leverage. That's pretty mega. A lot of the prop firms out there going on smaller leverage, but clearly, the prop the prop trading can afford to do 1 to 200 leverage, which really helps traders out that have got specific strategies. Let's say you're a scalping trader and you want to be in and out of the market with huge volume very, very quickly. 1 to 200 leverage is great. And down here, they have their evaluation programs. So very, very clearly, we can see what are their profit targets, what is their maximum loss, what is their maximum daily loss, all really key things that kind of differentiate them as a firm. Okay, a lot of other prop firms have kind of jumped onto this model with the 8% target and the 5% daily drawdown, and the 10% total drawdown. But essentially, the prop trading, from what I saw, was one of the first firms to adopt this model. Compared to FTMO, I'm not going to delve into FTMO right now because I'll do another video on that if it's requested. But essentially, FTMO's got 10% target, and the prop trading has got an 8% target, which makes it 20% easier to hit, which is quite significant. It doesn't like $2,000 on a 100K account doesn't sound like a great deal of difference when you've got to make 8 compared to 10, but it really, really does help. And I've noticed that as well with my pass rate between the prop trading and other firms like FTMO. I'm getting them done a lot faster, and I'm seeing more success with them. And they also have really, really good pricing. $299 for a 50K, $499 for a 100K, $899 for a 200K. These are all undercutting some of the other leaders out there that are charging, another 20, 30% on top of this. So really, really good pricings for the challenges. And over here on the right-hand side in bold, we can see 0 trading days. Really nice added feature. Ultimately, it's not necessary for them to have this, but it differentiates them again from some of the other market leaders out there. FTMO, touching on them quickly, have a 10 minimum trading days. It just means that, you just have to wait a little bit longer if you've passed the challenge. Whereas if you've passed the challenge on the prop trading, you can instantly move to the next step or instantly get funded, which is nice. So scrolling down further, we can see Forex indices, cryptos, all of the different instruments that you can trade. I'll, develop that in further depth and detail in the good and bad parts of the prop firm. Frequently asked questions, we'll jump through to there in a second. Okay. The fact that they haven't said it here, but they have MT5, which I think is great. Essentially MT5, in my opinion, is a better version of MT4. Some people love MT4. Most people are on MT4, which is fine. I started on MT4 as well. But for me, now that I've gone on to MT5, I can't really look back at MT4. It just seems a little bit too dated, and some of the features that you have on MT5 can really help improve your trading, especially when you're on your phone and it's a small little device compared to your laptop. I feel like MT5 just adds a little bit more complexity to the tools that you can use. I think starting off MT4 is great because it's a little bit more basic, but then getting onto MT5 as soon as you can, I think is a good thing. Personally, it's moving along with the times and moving along with, MetaTrader as a company. So yeah, they use MT5. Trading with us, a few of their key perks: unlimited funding capital, risk-free trading. I think that's huge with prop firms. Essentially, if you pass the challenge, you're trading with, their capital. You've got larger amounts of funds to trade with. You haven't really got much risk. For instance, once you've got your first withdrawal, you get that refund. So I think that's really, really crucial to highlight out, is that with the prop trading, is that once you've got your first withdrawal, you also get the refund of the challenge. 80% profit share, great. Leverage 1 to 200, great. News trading, great. And monthly withdrawals, nice. So a few of the benefits, kind of talked about all of these. Okay, yeah, nice little perk here. Okay, that your capital can be increased if you are doing well on a 3-month basis. Trade up to 500K in initial capital with no limits on how much you can grow. Compound your account with our scaling plan. That's huge for any retail trader out there. Trading with $500,000, is pretty life changing once you get there. Stress free. I probably disagree with that. It's quite stressful. I think you need to be mindful of the fact that trading with more capital takes on more of an emotional burden. I think to say it's stress free is probably not fair, because I think when you're trading at a $500 account, everyone will remember the first time that they deposited money into an account. And most people, that most most of people's experience was blowing that account. It certainly was for me at least. So, I remember that feeling of blowing the account and starting again and having to, grow and develop and actually get a strategy that's working rather than just relying on a little bit of luck. And essentially, when you trade a larger account, you have to have a strategy in place. You have to focus on percentages rather than just, oh my goodness, this is so much money. It becomes overwhelming. And essentially, you can get caught up in that. And then you end up just blowing the account regardless, because it is quite a stressful environment to have that much money and capital. No minimum profits required. That is fair. That is true. I like that. Essentially, if you've got $100,000 account, which is the account size that I focus on, then you can make 100, 200, dollars or pounds a month, and you're happy and you're fine. You don't have to push the account aggressively. Okay, so scrolling down a little bit further down here, the safety aspect of it, you're not liable for your losses. This is true, especially once you've got your first withdrawal out and you've got your, challenge feedback. You're trading risk-free, more capital than you had, which is what I've mentioned before as well. Okay, what traders are saying about us. Clearly, we've just gone on to the Trustpilot as well, so we know that they've got great reviews. Okay, here we go with the MetaTrader 5. Personally for me, MetaTrader 5, just to reiterate it, is far superior. I like it, love it. I think everyone should test it out if they are an MT4 devout lover. Definitely try out MT5, see what you think, because I think personally for me, it was a smart move to take. Okay, so that's the website. Very clean, very clear. It's not the most advanced website. It's not the most tech savvy website. Here's a video as well. It's an automated little bit of animation. It's nothing special, but it shows everything that it needs to show for people like us. Okay, so let's jump on to the frequently asked questions. Okay, because I think this breaks down a lot of the points as well. And then after that, I'll jump on to some of the good points of the prop firm that I've experienced, and some of the the bad things that I've experienced. So we can jump on that from more of a personal level from me. Okay, let's go through the questions. Okay, we've got quite a few to go through. We can quickly scroll through them as well. Okay, so how do I become funded by the prop trade? Okay, so essentially you just buy one of their challenges, you pass it, you move through to the next stage, you pass it, and then you're a live funded trader. Okay, what is the evaluation program? Okay, essentially you're on a demo account, okay, and you have to stay within their metrics. And as they said, if you reach the profit target without violating the trading rules, you move on to the next step, etc., etc. Okay, so next, what is the program duration? Okay, so step 1 and step 2 are slightly different. Step 1 is harder, step 2 is easier. Step 1, you've got 30 calendar days to pass. Okay, now that does include weekends as well. So it is, quite rigorous. You basically have 20, 22, 23 sort of trading days, because you're not going to be trading every single day. You might not have setups every single day. So you've probably got about 20 trading days. And then essentially on step 2, you've got 60 days. You've got double the amount of time. You've got half the profit to achieve. So it is definitely easier. So if you get on step 1 and you pass that, move on to step 2, pass that, then you become a live funded trader. Okay. So essentially you have to reach the profit targets on both without violating any of the rules. Okay. Let's drop that down. Okay. What is account size? What is the account size and funding capital? Okay, so they offer 3 sizes: 50K, 100K, 200K. We've gone through that on the website. And of course, they will also scale those accounts if you do well consecutively on 3 months. Okay, what is the leverage? Spreads, commissions, and fees. 1 to 200, as we said on the website, from 0.5 pips. This fluctuates between different pairs, and I found that they are pretty good. I found that FTMO has got rawer spreads as a whole. It's got tighter spreads, but it has got higher commissions. So I found that clearly the prop trading has got no commissions, so that doesn't eat into your profit, but it's in they've got higher spreads. So think about that, take that into consideration when choosing which prop firm, because if you're a scalper, you're in and out of the market very, very quickly. You want the rawest spreads you can. So ultimately FTMO might be a different solution for you. But essentially I found it's pretty competitive, it's good. They're not doing you over here by having, really high spreads, really high commissions, so it's pretty much untradeable. No, they're good on that. Okay, let's jot that down. Is there a minimum trading days? No, we've established that. Is there a free trial? Yes, there is. You can practice the accounts time and time again. All you have to do is go onto their website, go onto the account dashboard area, which I'll jump on later. And essentially all you've got to do is request a free trial account. You can request any size account from memory. They give you the login details within about a day, and you can test it out, which is great. Just discuss that. When does the evaluation program start? Starts on your first trade. Okay, so moving on, how many accounts can I trade? So ultimately what they have is you can trade an unlimited amount of accounts, but if you want to merge accounts together, the maximum you can have is 500K. Okay, so you can have loads and loads of accounts. Pretty much the capital is endless, but essentially it's going to take you quite a while to get there, because of course you've got to go through the challenge and verification stage for each one of these challenges. And I'll jump onto this in a second. I'm sure they have a little question about this. Yeah, copy trading. I'll talk about it in further depth in copy trading, but essentially you can't have the same trades placed on two separate accounts under the prop trading. And if you do that, it's basically a violation. So unless you've got loads of different strategies, or you've got loads of different EAs that are working on the accounts, if you're doing them manually, which is the way that I've done it to pass, then essentially, it's going to take a little bit of time to get through them, essentially. But there we go. Okay, so can I hold overnight, over the weekend positions, and trade news releases? Yes, you can trade news. And essentially, this is one of the rules that I'll talk about in a second on one of the cons. I won't jump into it now because I'll talk about it in the cons. So are they a brokerage? No, they're basically not a brokerage. Brokerages work with prop firms because you need a brokerage to provide a price feed, to provide instruments for customers and clients to trade on. You need to have that real-time experience of commissions, spreads, and all of the other factors. But essentially, prop firms need a price feed for the traders to be trading on. So a lot of them, the majority of them, are partnering with brokers to provide that foundation for them. Essentially, the prop firm, is putting their service on top of that. Prop firms aren't clearly accepting deposits. You're paying for the challenge and the verification and the chance to prove yourself to become funded on their capital. But yeah, they're not brokerages. They don't do the same things. So do they have to pay for their losses? No, essentially that's the perk of it. How much experience do you need? Yeah, there's no time frame. Which could be something, could be a concept that they could introduce, because of course a lot of people are going to lose money if they're not skilled, because these challenges aren't easy. There's no doubt about that. Most people do fail. I'll do another video, I'm sure, in the future about that as well. But essentially, you don't need any experience to provide to jump into the prop firm space. You can literally go on any of these prop firm websites, buy a challenge, get going, from the day you start if you wanted to. But of course, I do recommend having a strategy, having some experience, trading probably live funds first before you jump into this, because if you haven't traded on $500, $1,000, you're going to struggle. You are going to struggle trading $50, $100, $200,000 and more, of course. Are EAs allowed? Yeah, EAs are allowed. We love to see that. That's great stuff. Essentially, I've been working all of today on incorporating some EAs into my strategies. I'm looking to automate my trading into numerous different EAs, because EAs work 24/7. There's only so much work you can do. If you can hear my nose, I'm getting, I've had a little bit of a cold. Essentially, you can get run down as a human, but EAs running on internet servers can run forever. So essentially, EAs are the way forward, and I've been developing and incorporating some of my strategies into EAs to help me trade a little bit more consistently, and without me having to work as hard. But down here underneath their EA section, they very, very clearly tell all of their traders, copy trading from someone's signals, tick scalping, latency, reverse, hedge, arbitrage trading is not allowed. If people don't know what latency, hedge, or reverse arbitrage trading essentially is, talk about latency. It's probably one of the easiest ones to explain. Very, very briefly, clearly it's a way more complex process than this. But let's say you've got the prop trading price feed over here, okay, and then you've got X brokerage over here, okay. The prop trading is slightly slower, okay, than X brokerage over here. So X brokerage chart moves a little bit faster than the prop trading. Okay, let's say you've got the two charts on one screen and another, okay, and you've built an expert advisor to trade on this, this mispricing, essentially. Okay, you're not allowed to do that. So essentially, if X brokerage over here, we see gold flying, 20 pips, half a second earlier than the prop trading, you could develop an EA, and there are EAs out there, I've seen them, that basically take advantage of this little half second or millisecond difference in price, and with some reasonable lot sizing, you can make quite a decent amount of profit. So essentially, they don't allow that because it essentially is abusing their price feeds, and it's not really a legitimate way of making money for the prop firm. If the prop firm want to have serious traders on there, they probably don't want people taking advantage of different price feeds, which makes sense, which is fair. Okay, is copy trading allowed? This is what we were discussing a little bit higher up. You can copy trade from an external account. Okay, so if you've got an account with FTMO, 100K account, you can copy trade the exact same trades from FTMO's account through to the prop trading. But what you cannot do is have one the prop trading account 100K, another 100K the prop trading account, and do the same trades on them. Because if you do that, that's a violation of the rules. So is the evaluation fee refundable? Yes, as mentioned before, it is once you've completed the challenge and got your first payout. Which trading instruments are available? Okay, now all of these instruments down here are the listed ones that they allow you to trade, and I'll explain this in a little bit further depth on some of the cons of things that I don't like about the prop trading as much. Okay, and I think it is something that they can improve on in terms of their service and in terms of their firm and the credibility, I think, of their firm. So I'll discuss that in the cons of the video. Profit target, we discussed that. Profit share, we discussed that. Maximum capital, we discussed that. Is there a lot size limit? Boom. Okay, this is another thing that I will talk about in the cons of the prop trading. Okay, so now we've gone through pretty much all of the frequently asked questions. This video is now going to be quite a long video. I'm aware of that, but I want to give as much value as I can out there to everyone that's interested in the prop trading. Some of the videos that I've seen that I've looked into as well, they're focusing on the 10-12 minute video range, which works for the YouTube algorithm. But for me, I'd much rather be in depth. And if someone wanted to join the prop trading, they'd never heard of them before, and they know absolutely everything about this firm when they watch the video. Okay, so let's stop sharing the screen now. Okay, and let's go on to my document again, so I can see what I've covered, what I haven't covered, what I need to cover. And again, everything's going to be timestamped down below. So we've gone through the Trustpilot, we've gone through the website, we've gone through the models. Now let's go onto the dashboard. Then we'll jump through the good rules, the bad rules from my personal experience. And then after that, we're pretty much done. Okay. And then I think, you'll have a good understanding of whether you want to join the prop firm or not, and whether you think they are still, one of the market leading prop firms out there. Okay. So let's head on to the dashboard, because I've seen nobody do this on YouTube. That's gone onto the dashboard, really critically analyzed the dashboard, shown the metrics that you can see basically when you're trading on the account, and why I really like the dashboard, why I think it's a really good added feature that they've got on their account. So the dashboard, okay, I'm very complimentary about this dashboard. I love it. I really like it. Okay, I really like how simple, clean, and clear it is. Okay, it's very effective for traders. You can see exactly what you want to see. It's got all of the stats, okay, and it's very, very clearly displayed, on this one page. You've got all of the information that you essentially want on this one page. Okay, looking down on this left-hand side here, we've got a few extra, bars and pages that we can go through, particularly being the account history. Pretty much all of the stats are here. Okay, so similar to some of the other prop firms that I'll discuss in future videos, I'm sure they adopt a very, very similar template to this, with slightly different colors clearly, and displaying slightly different metrics. But I think the prop trading has done a really, really good job of this. really nice for traders. FTMO, for instance, has numerous different pages. It's got quite a long, lengthy amount of stats. A few things that I think are better than this, which I'll unfold and discover. But I think this is perfect. This is all you need. I think one of the main things that they're missing out on a little bit is a proper equity curve. Okay, this equity curve is kind of basic. It's small. Whereas if we go onto FTMOs and we see FTMOs, if I go onto FTMO now, very quickly, jump onto FTMOs. Come on, let's do it. Here we go. Yeah, this was another one of the trades, literally the same trade that was caught to pass my prop trading. Account wasn't doing very well. We can see this really, really clearly. The equity curve is big. Okay, we can zoom in and out. We can see how many trades were taken. Okay, and we can see all of the stats that we want to see. Okay, whereas the prop trading, a little bit small. But I think this is not an FTMO video. This is the prop trading video. I think this is all you really need. Okay, apart from the equity curve, which is the one thing that I would change about their their dashboard. I think everything else is lovely. Okay, we can see all of the program rules up in the top right hand corner. Okay, we can see all of the targets, all of the rules, and we can see the profit, daily losses, maximum losses, active trading days. Okay, all of this is updated in real time. We can see our win rate, our loss rate. So we know how well we're doing each day, each week, because that updates again. Okay, the time that we've got left of the challenge. So of course, when you purchase the challenge, this will be on 0,000. Okay, and then as we can see, this updates in real time. So it's been 62 days, so pretty much a couple months since I passed this challenge. And in the bottom right hand corner, we can see further statistics. The projected annual profit. I think whilst that's lovely to see, I think that's a little bit exaggerated. Essentially, that's taking the stats from what I did in the few trading days that I took, and multiplying that by the trading days in the year. But essentially, you've got the idea. Prior day equity, which I think is quite a nice thing to see. We can see how much profit was made the previous day before we passed the challenge. Okay, the average winning trade and the average losing trade. I love these stats as well. We can see, which I think is really important on your self-development as a trader. We can see that my average losing trade was a lot smaller than my average winning trade. We can see that I cut my losses a lot faster than I closed my winners. And there we have it. I love it. I like the dashboard. Okay, and the account history as well. I think this is another good thing to go through. I have to jump through and jump back the trade history a little bit in a little bit of time. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we can see that it was the Hong Kong indice trade that I took that absolutely smashed this account through the park. But we can see a breakdown of all of these different trades. Okay, open, close, price, entry, okay, symbol, and close time on their server, open time on their server, okay, and the number of the deal. Love it. Really clean, really clear. Similar to FTMO, they've got the same sort of idea going through on their platform. This is another nice added feature. Okay, so you can really, really go in depth. If you've violated any of the rules, you can go through these, trades. Customer support can go through these trades. You can see where you've gone wrong. You can see where you've gone right, and we love to see it. Okay, so there we have it. I wanted to run through the dashboard. I think it's not something that everyone's done. This is as transparent a video as you're going to get in terms of going through the whole process. Okay, so now we've done that. Okay, I'm going to jump back off sharing, and I'm going to go onto this. I'm going to go back onto my document. I'm going to run through some of the pros and the cons of the prop firm. Okay, so we'll start off with the bad things, and then we'll finish on the positive note of the good things, because overall my opinion is very, very positive about this prop firm. I've bought into the system, bought into the company myself. I've got payouts myself. I love the firm. I think it's great. And ultimately I wish it, all of its success in continuing to grow and dominate in the prop firm market space. But ultimately, of course, with any company, with any business, there are always going to be negatives to it. And I thought, let's make a little section on the bad things, things that I think they could improve on, because all of these things are adaptable changes that I hope they do make in the future. And if they do watch this video, and they want to take it on board, I think it'd be super beneficial for all of the community. So the bad rules, okay? Bad rules, the bad things, the things that I don't like, things that I think could be sorted and are sometimes a little bit shady. It's the first thing that I don't like and I dislike within their company that I think can be rectified and changed is the concept of restricted instruments, okay? On their website and in their frequently asked questions, as we saw when scrolling through their website in the frequently asked questions section earlier on, we can see a massive table of all of the instruments that are allowed to be traded underneath, their prop firm, okay, and within their business model, okay. Now this, array of instruments is huge, okay. They've got a lot of instruments to trade, which is, a great thing about their prop firm. But they do have these instruments that don't allow you to trade underneath their business model available to trade on MT5. Okay, so you can scroll through all of these instruments, ones like oil, ones like selective indices, ones like crypto on the weekend, that you're not allowed to trade, but they allow you to trade it. Okay, now, of a company now this scale, this size, okay, with this sort of reputation, with this many employees, with this many funded traders going through it every single month, you would have thought this would be a change that they'd be able to make, okay? That you're not allowed to trade oil underneath their prop firm, for whatever reason, okay? They don't want it, they don't like it, fine, sure. But if they're gonna not allow it underneath their website, they should at the same time restrict this instrument with their connection with their brokerage, okay? This is possible, I know it is possible. Okay, ultimately they could close it off and they could go, no buy or sell orders or limits or pending orders or stops are able to be executed and processed underneath the prop firm, okay? They could do that. And another solution to that is that if people do that, the trade gets automatically cancelled or cut out and, they get given a warning, or they don't get given a warning, they simply allow it and they just close out the trade instantly. And the trader just suffers on the spread. One of the other bad things within their firm that I don't think is the best is their crypto trading. Okay, whilst they've got numerous cryptos that you can trade, you're not allowed to trade them over the weekend. Okay, now this is when crypto is most volatile. Often seeing 5-10% movements within a day, throughout the weekend on crypto, because it's one of those markets that you can trade throughout the weekend. You can't be trading FX, commodities and indices throughout the weekend. So a lot of people then trade crypto on the weekend. But yeah, you're not allowed to trade it on, on the prop trading throughout the weekend. It's one of the times that crypto traders are looking to trade. So, if you're offering crypto, then essentially allowing people to trade on the weekend is kind of like taking away crypto. But yeah, that's, I think, something that's been brought up in my community group chats that people don't like. It personally doesn't affect me because I don't trade crypto. But for a lot of people, it's quite a big thing. So the restricted instruments is, for me, the biggest factor that I don't like in terms of their prop firm. But I think the other thing is in terms of when you're a live funded trader, okay, on the restriction in lot sizing, okay? Because whilst it is, clearly shown on their website, I think for some traders, it's disheartening if they haven't seen that rule, that when they do become a live funded trader, they realize that they've got a max lot restriction. So if I go into this in further depth, the 100K accounts are the ones that, I trade. I'll use this as the example. For 100K accounts, you can only trade 5 lots per instrument. Okay, so for instance, 5 lots on Euro USD. Okay, you can't place 10 or 15 or 20 lots. Okay, but however, you can, place 5 lots on numerous different instruments. So there are ways of getting around this. You can place 5 lots on gold, 5 lots on, Euro USD, GBP USD, GBP JPY, any of the other ones, indices, all of that. And so you can have, of course, numerous different instruments with 5 lots on them. But if you're a one instrument trader, okay, and your strategy works around getting in and out of the market very, very quickly, within, a couple candlesticks, and you've passed the challenge without this max lot size, cap, for instance, you've been, trading Euro USD, okay, and you've been dropping, 20 lots, then all of a sudden, when you become live, you've got a 5 lot max, okay? So something to think about, carefully. It is there only for 3 months. So if you're consistent and you're regularly, performing for 3 months and you're getting withdrawals and you're just letting the time tick, then after that 3 months the lot size cap is removed. So it does bear thinking about that it's worth it to clearly go through the 3 months. But for those 3 months, you kind of got to stay patient if your strategy involves dropping high lot sizes and catching small moves within the market. But then again, the lot sizing and the lot sizing cap, I think, can be a beneficial thing. I think it's a double-edged sword. Ultimately, it can jeopardize a few traders that have got specific strategies on dropping larger lots than 5. But I think at the same time, it can help traders. The stats are there that most traders blow their live funded account within the first couple of weeks of when they do get the live funded account. And that is typically due to greed. It's typically due to over risking and over leverage. You've got all of this live funded capital, and now you want to utilize it and maximize it to the absolute full extent that you can, and you end up just blowing it. So I think it can help. So for me, those are the few bad things about the prop firm that I think they can rectify. I think the lot sizing is something that they could look into. They could reduce it from 3 months to 1 month. But I think the main thing for me about the prop firm, and the only kind of hindrance that I've really got about it, is the restricted instruments. You have instruments that you can trade on the MT5 dashboard, but they're not allowed underneath the prop firm. I think that is the one thing that's holding them back, that has caught out a lot of traders and made a lot of traders unhappy about their prop firm. But going back onto my document, let's talk about the good things. Okay, so hopefully this review, this quite intense, quite long breakdown, has displayed to you that I am for the prop firm. I do like it. I do like the prop trading. Okay, I'm a supporter of them. I've got accounts there myself, and ultimately, as we run through the website, we've run through the Trustpilot, the review percentages. We've run through all of the rules. The leverage is great. Okay, 1 to 200 leverage is market leading. We love to see it. Okay, and that also doesn't change when you're live. A lot of the other funds and firms out there, it changes. Okay, and that's a rule that I don't think is fair. If you're going to advertise on the challenges, one set of leverage, and then on the live accounts, you're going to decrease and change that leverage. It doesn't bode well for the customers and the clients and the traders. But the leverage is great. 80% payout is huge. It's awesome. It's one of the market leaders. They've got a refundable fee. Pretty much all of the prop firms do, but it's a nice added feature. If you can pass that challenge, that verification, and get your first withdrawal, this account is completely risk-free. Okay, love it. Okay, MetaTrader 5 is great. It could be one of the cons, could be one of the pros. For me, it's a pro. That the fact that they've got MT5, some of the prop firms out there have only got MT4, but for me, it's a pro. I'm sure for some people it'd be a con, but I think it's a platform that most people should aspire to transfer over to. The fact that you can hold trades overnight, the fact that EAs are welcomed on their platforms. Some of the prop firms don't like EAs because EAs that are programmed very, very well can be very, very profitable. The fact that they support that kind of emphasizes the fact that they are credible. And ultimately they've gone from being a relatively basic bad customer service, bad review company, to really excelling into the prop firm space and changing that around, for me demonstrates that they are on a very good upward trajectory, and that they do care about their reputation, and they do care about their clients, and they do care about their firm, and they do want it to evolve and become better. So yeah, very complimentary about it. Many positives. It's got lots of payout proof. It's got lots of customers that have gone through it. I've been on there myself now for numerous months. The owner's done many interviews with other guys on YouTube before. Hopefully, maybe perhaps we can get him on the FX on the YouTube channel as well, so we can talk to him in a little bit further depth about his ethos, the things that he thinks he can develop within the firm, and the growth and the future of the firm. So perhaps we'll get him on here one day. But I think ultimately very, very positive, very, very complimentary. And I think the negative things within the firm can be improved, and I hope they do. So ultimately, I'm going to leave it there. And as always, if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me down below. via all of the links. I'll post all of the links to all of the social medias down below, to my Telegram, to the community Telegram group chat, to the Discord community, and also at the same time, the Instagram account. But yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, it's been informative. I hope it has. Feel free to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.